What's up, superstars? Welcome back to Crypto Cornucopia, where you come for the latest crypto news, education, and a path to prosperity. I do hours of research, so you don't have to. Like, subscribe, share, and use the links below. Everything that I go over is from either a website or another YouTube channel. Ask questions below so I know what you want to learn about and I can make a video on it. And watch out for the scammers. All right, so news and cycle update. Before we get into that, let's take a look at the sentiment today off Trade the Chain. So you have Bitcoin at 58, which is relatively high, which makes sense with all the ETF news. And Ethereum is back down to 50. The prices are hanging out right where they should be from all the charts and analytics, technical analysis that I've been listening to. And the hottest on Twitter is Ray, Win, OXT, and Anchor. Out of all those, the only one that I've heard about was Anchor, and then Zcash. And I know why Zcash is pumping. We'll talk about that. That's in the news. All right, so here Crypto Lark is talking about the ETF, and he's comparing it to the gold ETF after it was released. It was 1 trillion and then went up to 11 trillion in 16 years, which I don't think Bitcoin will take that long to do. Grayscale is throwing in their hat for plans to file the spot Bitcoin early next week. So essentially the floodgates have opened. They've allowed the futures ETF, which is just paper trading essentially. But now that they're saying okay to that, that means that they should be allowing the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which is really what we want. That means that they have to purchase it. They have to purchase Bitcoin and hold it. All right, from Altcoin Daily, miners are not selling Ethereum. That helps the supply shock. If the miners are holding onto the Ethereum and not selling it onto the market, that means that the exchanges don't have it to sell. Supply and demand, price go up. Ethereum has returned above 3,900 for the first time in about 6 weeks, and an interesting phenomenon has been the absurdly rising miners balance. So the miners are hoarding it. In the past 3 months, miners have added 580k ETH. That's not dollars. That's how many, 580,000 ETH to their currently held 658. So they have a lot. But that's something to watch out for. Okay, with this on-chain analysis, you can look at these numbers, and there are a lot of people out there that are watching this and seeing what the miners are doing with that. It's good to know so that if they start flooding the market with it, you'll know why the ETH price is going down, if it happens. All right, Grayscale, again, okay, so I alluded to this earlier. They're adding Zcash, Stellar, which is XLM, and Horizon Zen. So Milestone, Grayscale, Zcash Trust, Stellar Lumens, and Horizon Trust are all now trading on the OTC markets under their respective symbols. So what Grayscale is doing is they are buying these tokens and they are holding them and offering it to customers at a premium. Now, you and I know better. We can just go buy these tokens. But the people that know nothing about this market and want to have some type of exposure to it, they're now holding it. So this is great for the price. It's going to pump it simply on the news of it. But as well, Grayscale, if there's demand for it, they have to buy it. If the people that they service are buying more of it, they need more of it. They have to hold it. So this is good for the price on all three of these. And again, this is why Zcash is pumping today. So this type of news that you can trade on. All right, moving on. We have Vitalik supporting Metis type layer 2 solutions. All right, so Metis is my little gem. That's the one I did a video on a few days ago. And again, one of the founders of it is Vitalik Buterin's mother. And I noticed it's very hard to find news about that. Only one person that I listened to actually was able to uncover that. So I believe that's why Metis isn't taking off yet. No, this news isn't really out there. A lot of people don't know about it. And so, again, it's a hidden gem. But new Metis Medium article on NFT bridges a bold but simple proposal by Metis Tech Evangelist. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. And an ETH research thread in which you and Pavel discuss how to make NFT bridges a reality. And this is what you want to see. You want to see bridges. You want to be able to move tokens over to your layer 2. Again, layer 2 is a way to take transactions, roll them up all into one package, and then settle them on the layer 1 solution, which is Ethereum. Again, Polygon Matic is another layer 2 solution. And all of them are working together to speed up Ethereum. That's the whole purpose of it. All right, so for the daily crypto Byte, they're talking about the supply shock. Let's zoom in here. And this is Bitcoin long-term holder. All right. So you can see every time that the accumulation, which is what this line and this trend, if it's hitting a peak accumulation, what happens after? There's this supply shock, and the price goes up. Okay, so same thing happens, and this is an excellent indicator. So what's happening now? We're at peak accumulation. You can see it's starting to go up. Okay, there are smart people that know this. That's why everybody that wants to be in Bitcoin is buying up as much as they can. Every single time there's a dip, it's being bought. All right, so they're watching this trend, and I'll be letting you know more about it as I find out. All right, so the market projection. This is again from Daily Crypto Byte, and I love this one because they take a look at the chart. This is for Bitcoin dominance. All right, so that means that Bitcoin itself is most of the market, and they have a chart for how it dominates over the altcoins. All right, so you can see here BTC rally from 10K to 30K, and then the start of the alt season. So they're finding these trends in the markets. Start of alt season, okay. All right, May crash, BTC outperforms alts market and downturns. And then mini alt season led by Solana, Luna, AVAX, and others. Those are all layer 1 solutions. All right, so essentially as this chart goes down, it'll pump up a little bit, and then it goes down. That means that the money from Bitcoin is now going into the alts. And that means all the other tokens. Okay, that's what this chart says. It's a chart of BTC compared to all the other tokens that are out there. That's why it's on a downward trend, because alts are becoming more popular. So Bitcoin dominance goes up, and then it hits a peak and then goes down. It goes up, hits a peak, and then goes down. And again, every time it goes down, all the other little itty bitty altcoins, they get pumped up. And what he's pointing out is this is where we are right now. Okay, and we keep this line right here is a form of resistance. So I mentioned that the other day. When we hit this and the dominance of Bitcoin goes down, that means that all the other altcoins are going to pump. So essentially what they're calling for is an alt season in November, December. So all those little guys, all those small market caps that we've been waiting for to pump 10, 20, 30, 40, 100x, that's what they're calling for here. Been waiting 2 years for that. All right, CryptoTube, 3 weeks after crossing this indicator is the top of markets. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin investor tool. It's a 2-year MA multiplier. Okay, so the point is that after, if we zoom in here, after Bitcoin itself crosses this top, it takes about 2-3 weeks for it to go back down. Crosses the top, about 2-3 weeks, to, pumps, and then moves back down. Crosses the red line, about 2 to 3 weeks, comes back down. And that's what he's mentioned every single time we cross it. Okay, so this is something to watch out for over the next couple months, because with this indicator, when you're getting towards that red line, and we talked about how we're going to exit, how we're going to get out, or at least take our profits, as I'll be DCAing out. So in my previous videos, I said every time my token goes up 50%, I'm taking 20% out. That's my DCA out. But if I want to get completely out of the market and say, you know what, I'm good, I'm happy, I'm going to be looking for Bitcoin to be close to this line, along with the next one, which is the Pi cycle top indicator. Okay, so I want to go over this again because I think it's explained a little bit better. All right, so the Pi cycle top indicator has historically been effective in picking out the timing of market cycles, specifically in Bitcoin, and their highs within 3 days. Okay, so essentially, if it hits this top within 3 days, so we know things are going to be start changing. All right, the multiple price, or the multiple, is of the price values of 350 DMA, not the number base. Okay, so this is a little bit too technical for us to get into. What I want to move on to is the next slide, which is, all right, so the Pi cycle top indicator is when the orange meets the green. All right, so let's take a look and see what happens. Okay, so when the orange crosses the green right here, you can see the drop. Now this is on a very long time scale, okay, but you can see how quickly it drops. All right. All right, so it's got to be crossing it on the way down. All right, so when it crosses over and comes down here, you can see the drop. All right, slide over a little bit more here. Okay, and this is the last time this happened. This was in May. All right, so this, what we just looked at was 10 years, but right here, as soon as it crossed within 3 days, boom, went back down. Okay, so again, what this is telling us, like the other indicator, is that we're not near the top. Okay, this can shoot up very quickly and it can change very quickly because that's what Bitcoin does. But we're essentially in the middle right now. Okay, that's what this tells us. All right, and this is this is similar. This is much like it. Okay, so you have, I think these are all pretty much saying the same things, but they're just showing you in different ways. So let me zoom in here. All right, so this one, the unrealized net profits, the more people in profit, the more likely that the price is going to drop because people are going to take profit. All right, so for example, I think they had this overlaid from another year. So this was, yeah. Okay, so if it's in greed or euphoria, then you're going to see a drop. Okay, and this was another year laid over of this with the current timing. But again, the point of this chart is to show you that we're not there yet. All right, and this is, to me, the best visual, the Bitcoin rainbow price chart. We're in yellow right now, which means that we're essentially safe, we're neutral, and if we were to be up in this red band, that means, as you can see here, the darker the red, the bigger the drop. All right, so we could go kind of sideways up through here and go up and down, which is what I personally think is going to happen. We're going to go through December, we're going to come back down, and then January, what's going to happen is you're going to see all these businesses taking a look at other corporations that have made money through Bitcoin. They're going to start getting into it in January. So I think we're going to have a little run up. I don't know if we're going to hit this cycle top, but we might. I'm thinking we're going to dip back down, and that's where I will be taking some profits. But I think maybe this will be an extended cycle and run through 2022, January, February, March. All right. All right, so this is just someone that helps you understand. Now we talk about on-chain analysis, and everything with crypto is out there for you to see. So that's why they can make all these charts and do this analysis. And Will Clemente, you might want to follow him on Twitter because he uses Glassnode, which is like $500 plus a month that most people won't be able to use. And he takes a look at this analysis and then takes a screenshot and puts it out there. So this is someone you might want to follow. Now, he's saying the long-term holder supply shock ratio is now clearly at the highest it's ever been. Okay, and this was similar to what we were talking about before with the supply shock for Ethereum. This one is for Bitcoin. And he said these next few months are going to be wild. Why? Because nobody's selling their Bitcoin. There's nothing on the exchanges. There's nothing on the exchanges. That means you have to raise the premium for the price. That's the way the cycles work. Okay, people are holding until they don't. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Comment below, leave suggestions. Talk to you soon.